every conversation counts. In talent acquisition, you grind through a day with a lot of different conversations that take place over and on top of each other, and some of them can be a bit repetitive. Today, I think employees are looking more and more, and engineering candidates are certainly not immune to this, for a place to belong, a place to collaborate, to grow skills, and make an impact, which is something here at UST that we definitely have to offer on a great scale. Culturally diverse organizations innovate faster, more effectively, that they're industry leading in sales and growth as well.
We are here with Kendall Messner, Global Head of Executive and Strategic Talent Acquisition at UST. UST is a digital transformation solution provider that has received so many different recognitions for being an awesome place to work, including Talent Board's 2022 Candidate Experience Awards and the Business Culture Team Award in 2021 for Office of Values and Culture. Kendall has been in talent acquisition for over 20 years. He has been recognized as a top 50 talent acquisition professional presented at the 2022 OnCon Icon Awards. And I'm so excited to bring his perspective on today. Kendall, thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. This is very exciting.
Could you start by telling us a little bit more about UST, your role, and the previous experiences that led you there?
Yeah, I'll kind of do that in reverse order. So, quick introduction. I live in Oregon. After going to college, did stand-up comedy full-time for 10 years, then joined an executive recruiting firm agency called Blue Speed. I was there for over 11 years. During that time, I worked with Accenture, Deloitte, Wipro, many others. Then I joined Cognizant. I was there for 6.5 years, heading up executive sales and field marketing recruiting. And now I've been here at UST for over 4 years, heading up executive recruiting globally. Have 7 kids and a dog, met my wife in first grade. Now you know pretty much everything you need to know about me and a little bit more. So
Now, UST was nominated across 10 different categories in the 2022 Business Culture Awards. 2 of those being Best Wellbeing Initiative for Large Organizations and Best Employee Voice Initiative. These are 2 categories that are such a hot topic of discussion today in today's workforce, and companies are spending a lot of time trying to figure out the best way to navigate and implement them. Talk to us about these 2 category nominations, well-being and employee voice. What does UST do to embed these 2 initiatives into the company?
sure. So somewhere within any award and certainly initiatives here at UST, you'll find our values. So really so many things come back to the values. We were founded with the values of humility, humanity, and integrity. And these values initially stood out to me as being different, particularly the humility and humanity pieces. Now that I've been here for a while, I can tell you it translates to creating a more non-hierarchical, entrepreneurial sort of an environment where everyone has a voice. It's great for innovation. It's especially inspiring to see the C-level folks really own those qualities. I think it's a big differentiator for us. And by the way, those values were created 23 years ago. So those aren't new ones. They've been really helping provide a heartbeat for UST to grow by for many years. Humanity certainly maps to that of well-being. UST cares about its employees, from our partnership with Headspace to grassroots well-being initiatives here that are being driven by folks within our organization around yoga and meditation. And the way to mental health here is being viewed is refreshing. It's inspiring. And both humanity and humility are drivers too of our will to collect input from all of our employees, candidates, vendors. It's also an organization that's empowering. If you see a need and have a proposal on how to fix something here at UST or augment a solution, that sort of ambition is welcomed with open arms. It's an attitude here of really fail fast, learn from it. Most of all, keep moving forward, keep moving towards that goal. So that's sort of how the values at UST map towards those initiatives.
Now, one thing I hear regularly from candidates is that in their next job or place of work, they want to be in a place where they can really learn and grow. And I feel like that speaks beautifully to the purpose driven labor market we're in right now, where employees are not just looking to check off their tasks, they're looking for that deep enrichment. So I get super excited when I see how UST promotes this born to learn culture. Talk to us a little bit about what this means. How is it reinforced throughout the company? And how do you think it ultimately impacts candidate engagement and employee retention?
Yeah, absolutely. So learning really is cooked into the DNA at UST. We feel adaptability is a leading indicator of an amazing associate. So a willingness to embrace change and learn at the pace of evolving technology. Even keeping pace with that is a real key to our broader success. So it's reinforced, I think, the learning DNA aspect, and is firstly through ease of access. The various learning classes are really seamlessly integrated into our day to day here. There's a little bit of gamification included in the platform too. Nothing too heavy handed, but it makes it a little more fun. Our learning and development practice really is something we're all proud of.
Now, I want to switch gears a little bit into hearing your perspective on where we're at in talent acquisition today, starting with what do you believe are the key here to stay shifts in talent acquisition, and how should companies view and invest in these transitions?
Well, yeah, you talked a little bit about some of the changes that everyone's been hit with. Clearly, work from home is here to stay for many functions, including talent acquisition. The pandemic really served to accelerate this move, clearly, but it was coming anyway. It kind of reminds me now, sort of like when Netflix started streaming and you thought, what's going to happen to Blockbuster? It's a huge shift, and companies should be investing in ways to help engage virtual talent acquisition experts, to inspire them, involve them, collaborate with them. In the end, it really is a win win for most individuals and companies, and that investment is small compared to housing all of them in the same place anyway. I'd say, secondly, the other big wave to me is diversity, inclusion, and belonging. It's such a huge factor and something that should be heavily invested in for all kinds of good reasons and altruistic reasons that are fairly obvious. But I think organizationally, selfishly speaking, even the data doesn't lie. And the data says culturally diverse organizations innovate faster, more effectively, that they're industry leading in sales and growth as well. So, we've been digging in aggressively to recruit for diversity across the lines, including neurodiversity, LGBTQ, Indigenous, Black, Latin American, gender, and age diversity groups. In fact, it's nothing really new at UST either. It's kind of over 10 years ago, we started the Step It Up America program. This is a program that started in Alpharetta, Georgia, in which we've been giving military veterans and minority women that have not had opportunity at an education training in technology, then placing them into our clients, placing them into our own organization. Again, we started that in the Atlanta area. Now we've rolled it out to 8 different major metros in the US.
Wow. Now, it's not really news that the demand for top engineering talent is so high and the competition for companies to bring on this talent is so real, specifically in regards to engineering and tech talent. What do you find candidates are looking for specifically, and how should talent acquisition leaders go about competing for this talent?
Sure. I don't know that there are stark differences from engineering versus business leaders, but certainly folks are not just looking for a place to cash a paycheck. More and more folks are looking for a place to belong. It used to be often work was endured as a means to an end, to earn money to support yourself and your family. Certainly that's always going to be part of it. But today, I think employees are looking more and more, and engineering candidates are certainly not immune to this, for a place to belong, a place to collaborate, to grow skills and make an impact, which is something here at UST that we definitely have to offer on a great scale. So you have an opportunity truly to profoundly affect the destiny of an organization as a whole, which is saying something when the company is 36,000 people in size.
Now, you were recently recognized as a top 50 talent acquisition professional presented at the 2022 Icon Awards. Congratulations, what an exciting recognition. Can you tell us some of your secrets for thriving as a TA professional and any key lessons you've learned along your journey?
Oh, I could dive into so many key lessons, but very humbled by the recognition and appreciate those that felt inspired to acknowledge that work. Secrets of thriving. I mean, number one is has to be my partner and wife, Tara Lee. There's no way I could be nearly as effective in my work without her help every single day. Just a rock star in everything she does, and part of what she does is support me in my work. And again, that's definitely a secret. Another is really surrounding yourself with people you enjoy working with. The strategic talent acquisition team, or STAT as we call it here at UST, is the best group of recruiters I've ever worked with and for. And I learn from this team every day. So we find great success as a group, and approaching work collaboratively makes it a lot more fun. It makes the bruises heal a little bit more quickly, and it makes the celebrations that much more fun. I learned early in my career that being an island can sometimes give your superiors a little bit of comfort. You got it handled, but it only works until it doesn't. And if you're not collaborating and communicating, it can put you in a really tough spot. And that's certainly a lesson that I've taken forward from that point in time. And finally, I think remembering that every conversation counts. In talent acquisition, you grind through a day with a lot of different conversations that take place over and on top of each other. And some of them can be a bit repetitive. Just remembering there's another human on the end of the phone or video call that you're engaging with, and that there's a real chance that you may affect that person's life. Changing careers is a big deal. Remembering that and ensuring that every conversation is rooted in the now versus going robo recruiter is essential to success.
Last question for you, Kendall. At Solvable, we are all about what drives purpose and satisfaction for people at work. So I'd love to know what drives purpose and satisfaction for you at UST.
Yeah, I think of probably three things. Being in a place where you're working with amazing people, being in a position to bring people into an organization where they'll be able to profoundly impact significant size company's destiny, and then to do it with an organization that has ambitious goals and values that are aligned with my personal approach to life gives me purpose and a great deal of satisfaction.
Kendall, thank you so much for being on with us today. And thank you all for listening to Architects of Contemporary Hiring.
Thank you, Lisa.